Welcome back to another episode here on The Richter Show. And today we are going to be exploring the Chickamauga and Chattanooga Battlefield National Park. So here are some really cool canyons. There's a little bit of explanation on this one. Some more canyons over here. This is a very, very big part of land. And there is some tours actually that they give, and here's the first tour stop. Now let me show you a little more off over here, which over there is the museum on that area, and there's a parking lot area as well. So right now I'm at the Chattanooga Battlefield Visitor Center, and it's basically like a museum inside, so I'm gonna go ahead and check it out, and let's see if I can get some video for you in there. And I'm not going to show you everything, so I want you to come over here. That's the whole purpose of it, but at least you have an idea. Here's some more explanation, a little bit more about the park itself. Like I said, there are restrooms here in case if you need to go. And how cool is this? You can actually come to these canyons that are over here, and you can actually go ahead and touch them. It's pretty cool. These things are just massive. I mean, you can see the size of my hand. Some of these are just pure copper. And look, they even have the dates on them. And they still have explanations next to it, so you can learn more about them. So this right here is actually a tent that they would use back during the Civil War. It's obviously a reproduction of it. Some explanations on the wall on it. And this is pretty cool because you can see how many horses it would take to pull, let's say, like canyons and supplies, and you would have an idea how they look like. Now this has a very large amount of collection of actual rifles, shotguns from different eras, different models, different years, and it's very interesting to see the evolution of all of them. And right next to each rifle, it will show you a little bit of the year of when it was made or when it was used, and a bit of an explanation as well based on the model, the years, and as much information as they can cram into one little pamphlet as much as possible. There are also artifacts everywhere that you can see, like canteens in this case, and then over here you have some pretty cool belt buckles. Now here is another carriage for supplies basically, and it's on the other side of the museum. And over here you can see some explanations of the fight between the North and the South. It gives you the years, some maps, a little bit of the routes that they took, where they fought, and some other artifacts as well that were very interesting during those times. And there you have it. You had a sneak peek about the museum, see how it looks inside. And I have to mention something, that all this is free. You don't have to pay anything. But they do accept donations, and there are some donation boxes inside if you wish to donate something. I went ahead and I donated. That way I can show my support for this place. And it's awesome that all these places, once again, are free. It is more towards the winter now. That's why a lot of the trees, you can see that they're dead and it's not as green as it would be during the summer. But it's still a cool and nice little drive that you can take. Well, I should rephrase that. It's a very long drive. Every single one of these stops has actually some explanation next to it, so you actually can learn more about the history and what these places actually mean and what they actually are. There's a lot of monuments all around the Chickamauga Park. It's also a nice walk out in nature. And like I said, there's just so many monuments. And as always, if you don't know or understand what it's actually about, most of this stuff is from the Civil War, from the Confederacy. Tennessee used to be one of the Confederate states. And here's some more explanation on them. And you will find this all around. I mean, there's more over there as well. And you get to enjoy a historical site while you have a nice stroll out in the woods. You are going to find a lot of cannons all around the park, which is something pretty cool and pretty neat to see the amount of cannons that there are here. And even if you don't want to get out of the car, you can just drive around and enjoy some of the monuments, some of the memorials. Once again, the cannons that they have here. And you can see that they're not all the same. Every single monument is different. Every one of these has a different story, has a different reason. And you actually have the full explanation of who they are, what it is for. So this is more or less how it would look if you were to drive around, and you would see the place of all the monuments, more cannons, and you can easily park in areas designated for parking, so you can actually stop and take a better look if you want. You don't have to just do it by car. And in some cases you will enjoy some wildlife. Here happens to be just one of them. Here's another tour stop, and there are some handicap areas, so it is handicap accessible. And over here we have another plaque. Now, normally during the summer, you will see a lot more people jogging, running around here, enjoying the park itself. You will see people actually enjoying a nice bicycle ride, group walks. So if the weather permits it, it's good to come here. And let me show you more stuff here. See, everywhere you look, there's going to be a monument and with something interesting. Each one of these is unique from the other. Now, I do have to mention that all this is actually free. You don't have to pay for it. Like in a lot of states that I know that you have to pay for everything. Here, you can come at your own free will. People here are very nice, they're very respectful. And here's more plaques. And then again, more cannons. So all this is free to walk around and enjoy for everybody. Now, not everything is a monument. Not everything is like a sculpture. And here's something a little bit different. I'm going to show it to you. There you go. See? There's a flock of birds there. I think it just flew out. And like always, you don't know what it is, you're going to find something like this to tell you what it is. But if you want, and if I want to, I can walk all the way over there, no problem. Just be respectful, clean up after yourself, don't dirty, don't do any picnics or anything like that here. So it's pretty cool that here in this state, you can enjoy things like these. You have these things here. So I'm going to show you a little bit inside of this one. There's a fireplace right there. Obviously, this is closed off. There's supposed to be a staircase. So these are the pretty neat things that you have to look for, which you can enjoy, and it doesn't really cost you anything, which is the most amazing part about it. So like I said, I can walk all this. And it's a good exercise too, though, even if you're just walking. Now, this park is way too big for me to actually show you everything, because if not, this would be like a 4 or 5 hour video. But I'm trying to stop in some areas. I'm usually stopping in one of the tourist spots, but you don't have to stop at these. And I'm showing you as many things as I can here and there without making the video too awkward or too boring or too long. So, like I said, they're all unique and they're all different, but I want to show you something a little bit different as well, so you don't think that everything looks exactly the same or more or less the same. And on this one, I'm actually going to show you a representation of some cannonballs, which is pretty cool. There you go. Yeah. Now, it's cool to check this place out in the winter like I'm doing right now, but during the summer it'll be a lot greener too. So you can come here, you know, twice at least, and you can see how it looks different during the wintertime and during the summertime. But it's pretty cool that you can actually roam around all this with no problem and no issue. There's a little nice stream of water here. I'll show you that as well. Right there. And you can walk all that. You can spend the whole day here. In fact, I don't think you can see everything in one day. You would take multiple days if you really wanted to see every single thing that they have here. And you won't get bored. It's pretty cool. All right, let's go to the next location. So I'm actually going to show you one of my favorite ones here at the park, and it's the tower. You actually can go all the way to the top and you can get a better view. Sometimes it's open, sometimes it's closed. Right now it happens to be closed, but hopefully I can come back at another time and I can go to the top and I can show you a panoramic view of everything that's around the park. There's some audio devices which you can listen to in case if for some reason you can't read or you're blind. And in case if you were wondering, there are actually bathrooms at the park, and coincidentally right now this one is actually getting cleaned, which is good, so I can show you that they do get cleaned frequently. And here we have it, more deer. You're gonna see a lot of these guys out here in the winter. They're mostly looking for food at this point. It's also good to point out that in case if you kind of get lost, you can always follow the tour signs, and then that will always take you back to the first tour, which is basically the main entrance and where you started at. And I want to show you a little bit that there are parking everywhere actually as well. All along the road, for example, there's another parking spot over there, so that way you can actually stop and enjoy the whole thing. So this is actually pretty breathtaking, and it's awesome to see. And to think that troops used to march through this area. There was a big battle here long ago. So here's another explanation to this area, and it's cool to see, you know, the little map here as well. It explains you everything more in detail and graphically. So just enjoy the view for the moment. So here we are at tour number 8, and this is another man-made structure right here, similar to one that I showed you a couple of minutes ago. And like always, an actual explanation to everything, which is really cool. So let's go check this place out, and then I'm also going to show you this amazing view from this point. So let's look in here first of all. Well, there ain't much to see, but there is a fireplace over there. These little structures are pretty cool. To think that a while ago people used to live in these and stay in these. And look at that landscaping. Just look at that. That is just truly amazing. You might see one of the park rangers down there. So let's look at the fireplace from here. Interesting built. Now, of course, a lot of these things have been restored, or some of them are reproductions and stuff, because, well, things wear out and they need to be repaired or replaced. But it's still cool to enjoy and see how life used to be a long time ago. Very interesting type of shingles up there. So even in the winter time, you will have people jogging and enjoying the park and doing good exercise. I wanted to take a moment to show you this sign right here, which is the tour sign, in case if you get lost, because if it's your first time here, you might feel a little uncomfortable or you might get lost, but just look for these signs and they'll lead you right back to the entrance, and that way you can get out of here if that's what you're looking for, or if you're trying to get back on track. But it's good and interesting to have these signs, and they're all over the road, and they lead you from one tour place to the next. So this is the Florida Monument. check them out. It's one of the pretty cool ones they have here. See, there's always a plaque to explain it. These things are just magnificent to look at. If you like videos like these, don't forget to like and subscribe here only on The Richter Show. See you on the next National Park.
Shout out to the host of the Richter. This the Richter Show. The Richter Show.